So, for your very last writing assignment, you'll be writing about a significant event that occurred in your life. For me, my significant event was moving to a new place for the first time. When I left Sebastopol, where I live and I've lived my whole life, at one point I left Sebastopol and I moved to Santa Cruz, and I went to school there for a long time. But I was really nervous about doing this. I'd never been away from home. But doing that made me realize that it's good to get out of your comfort zone. So that's sort of the theme of the essays that you'll be writing over the next couple of days, or the essay that you'll be writing over the next couple of days, is you'll be talking about an event that sort of changed your perspective on things. So for me, after moving to Santa Cruz for a while, I realized that it's important to get out of my comfort zone. I learned a lot by moving away from home for a little bit. All right, here we go. So this is my essay, and I will read it to you, and then you can get started on yours. I'll also post this online so you can take a closer look at it. So it goes like this. After graduating high school, I moved from Sebastopol to Santa Cruz to attend college. It was a big change for me because prior to college, I lived my entire life in Sebastopol. Moving to Santa Cruz meant leaving everything that I was familiar with and living in a place that was filled with unfamiliar faces. I didn't really want to be in such an uncomfortable situation, but I soon found out that everything was going to be fine. So that's my introduction. I give a little background, I introduce what I'm going to be talking about, and now I'm going to get into my story in the middle paragraph here. My worries were calmed on the first day that I moved into Santa Cruz. It was the year 2004, and I had just walked into my dorm room. I knew that I would be sharing the room with another student, but he had not arrived yet. At the time, I didn't know anything about my roommate other than the fact that he had a very familiar name, Michael Jordan. Wow, wouldn't it be cool to live with an NBA superstar, I thought? Maybe he can help me perfect my jump shots. While envisioning Mike and I out on the court shooting three-pointers, Michael Jordan walked into the room. Only he wasn't the Michael Jordan from the Chicago Bulls, he was Michael Jordan from Novato, California. Feeling a little relieved that he was just a regular guy like me, I quickly introduced myself. Things were a little awkward when we first met, but the ice was broken when we started unpacking our stuff. As we unpacked, we laughed at the fact that we each had the exact same lamp, mini fridge, and nightstand. Now that things were getting more comfortable, we started talking about the things that we were interested in, and it turned out that we were both into the same music and movies. Him and I became instant best friends. When I went to sleep that night, I felt confident that everything was going to be okay. All right, so that's talking about my experience. I realized on the day that I moved in that I was going to be fine. I didn't have to worry so much about making friends. I had made a friend right away. And now in my last paragraph, I'm sort of going to reflect on how that experience helped me as a person, or more importantly, changed me as a person, changed my perspective, and changed the way I see things. So my experience taught me that putting myself into uncomfortable situations can sometimes be good for me. Did I really want to leave my comfort zone in Sebastopol? No. But if I had decided to stay home, I would have never realized the benefits that come from putting myself into an uncomfortable situation. Leaving home helped me better understand myself and the world around me. The people that I met at UC Santa Cruz came from a variety of cultures and backgrounds, and getting to know them gave me a broader perspective. Ever since that first uncomfortable day at UC Santa Cruz, I have been pushing myself to experience things that I'm not comfortable with, knowing that such experiences can help me grow as a person. So in this very last paragraph, I'm reflecting on my experience at UC Santa Cruz, and I'm saying that it helped me grow as a person because I realized that I didn't have to stay in that comfort zone in Sebastopol my whole life. Going out was good for me. Leaving Sebastopol, moving to a different area, meeting new people was really good for me. And since that time, I've realized that, hey, sometimes you have to be uncomfortable in order to grow as a person. All right, so that's my essay. You sort of got the theme of what I'm going for now. I want you to select an event in your life that you look back on and you remember, and it was significant enough to have sort of changed your thoughts in some way. it taught you something. So this should be an experience that actually taught you something. It could be moving to a new town, attending a new school. So I put all of these possible events on this sheet here. And then of course, if one of your events isn't on this sheet, you can write about that. You don't have to write about, the options that I gave you. All right. So this essay is not due until the last day of summer school, which is July the 2nd. So you have a few days to do this, and mostly just have fun with it. Tell me your story. And if you need help, I realize that sometimes it might be hard to come up with a story, or to remember an event in your past that was really sort of had a big effect on you or really taught you something. You could just message me on Hangouts and we can sort of brainstorm some ideas. All right. So go ahead and get started, and remember, message me if you need help.